my name's Corey and I'm an instructor at the ASI Craft Center. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a macrame plant hanger that looks just like this. So for this, all you need is 4 supplies: scissors, a wooden ring, a ruler, and 5mm cotton string. So let's get started. So first what you're gonna do is cut your string into 4 strands, each one 72 inches long or 6 feet. I actually have mine pre-cut. So once you're ready, you can move on to the next step, which is pulling these strands through the wooden ring and folding them over so each side is equal in length. There you go. So next what you're gonna do is cut another piece of string that's about 15 inches in length. I actually have mine pre-cut again. So once you do that, you're gonna use this piece of string to secure your plant hanger at the very top. So basically what you're doing is you're wrapping the string around to keep it nice and tight and all the strings together up here. So this is actually the hardest part of this whole process, so bear with me. What you're gonna do first is make a little loop just like this and actually reverse it so that the top end right here is at the top. So then once you do that, you're gonna loop the excess string around these 8 pieces of string, making it nice and tight, really as tight as you can. I've seen that you can do about 3 to 4 loops around. It kind of depends, but 4 is the goal, but if you can only do 3, that's okay. See, there you go. So now what you're gonna do is put this excess piece of string, usually it's about 5 inches, so you can just kind of eyeball it, but make sure there's a substantial amount left. So for example, this one, I couldn't do a 5th loop because then there wouldn't be enough string to do this part. So what you're gonna do is grab this edge of the string and actually loop it inside this bottom loop. So if you can see nice and close, see how I'm putting it through right here? And then what you're gonna do is tighten it down right here. And then you're actually gonna grab this other piece and pull it up. And then what this is gonna do is it's gonna hide the excess piece right behind these 4 loops to keep it nice and pretty. And then here you have it. You have a nice, tight, secured top. So before we move on to the next step, I'd just like to let you know that you can feel free to cut off any excess string at this point. I usually wait until the very end to cut off the string here, just so I can make last minute adjustments, but it's really up to you. So next what we're gonna do is choose the point at which your hanger will start. For a smaller pot, you would go around 1/3 of the way down. That's what I'm gonna do. But if you have a bigger pot, you would go down even farther. So that can include like 1/2 or 2/3. If it's your first time, I would recommend just doing 1/3 of the way down just to keep it easy for you. So what you would do is just eyeball it. I can estimate that this is about 1/3. So this is where you're gonna knot the strings together, which I'll show you in the next step. So just kind of visualize where your knots will go, which would be around 1/3 or wherever you choose depending on your pot size. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna pair each of the 8 strings together. So you're gonna pick adjacent strings. Those are strings that are just next to each other. It's not a perfect science. I'm sure if you choose strings that aren't perfectly adjacent, it's not gonna look bad. But just to keep it easy, pick about pairs. And so that will come out to 4 pairs total. And I'm gonna show you how to knot these together in the next step. So now that you have your pairs and you've chosen your point, you're gonna make square knots to knot these pairs together. So starting with your most left pair, you're gonna make a square knot by choosing your right string as the active string, laying it above the left string to make a loop, and then pulling your right string through the loop and pulling it up. Now you're gonna do the exact same thing, but with your left string as the active string. So again, you're gonna put the left string on top of the right this time, and then pull the left string through the loop and pull it up. So now you're gonna fiddle with it to make it look nice and neat. And now you're gonna do this exact same thing, but with the other 3 pairs. So now that you've made those knots to pair these pairs together, what you're gonna do is do the exact same thing, but 5 inches down. So as you can see, this 5-inch mark is right here. So instead of pairing these together, you're gonna actually pair these together. So there's gonna be 3 inner pairs, and then after you do these 3 pairs, you're actually gonna pair these together as well. So again, make a square knot. And then do these 2, and then these last 2. So now that you have the skeleton of your plant hanger, you are gonna attach your fringe, which is personally my favorite part. So how you're gonna do that is first cut 3-foot pieces of string. As you can see, there's a lot of fringe. I used a total of 97 pieces, and with each of them being 3 feet, that's a lot of length and string. So you can do it based on how much you have. I used a whole bundle for my finished plant hanger. So I would recommend cutting them in about bunches of 20 and then seeing as you go. Each of these sections, as you can see, has about 12 pieces of fringe to use, and there's a total of 8 sections. So that's where I got that 97 number. So once you have yours cut, I'm gonna show you how to attach your fringe onto the sections between the knots. So you can choose any section you want. I randomly chose this one. I also find this especially helpful lying it or hanging it on top of something and then doing it vertically instead of horizontally like this. But for sake of showing you, I'm gonna show you like this. And then you're gonna fold your piece of string in half as such. Grab the top, again, put it above your string just like this. So as you can see, loop it behind, and then you're gonna pull your fringe pieces through this loop. Tighten it up. And then this is what you're gonna do for all your fringe. So you're just gonna do it all along these sections. So all along here, here, and so basically all of these fringe, as you can see, will hang down along with your plant hanger. So for the very last step, once you've added all your fringe to look like this, what you're gonna do is make a knot just as you did at the very beginning with the base of your macrame plant hanger. So this is all of the strings that came before you put all the fringe on there. So it's basically all of these. So you would collect them all together after you'd added your fringe and do the knot just as you did the beginning. So the exact same thing. This knot would probably be a couple inches below, so you can leave a little bit of room there. And then again, you can cut off any ends that you want to make it look nice and neat. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed, and good luck.